Hey guys, welcome back. I brought my husband Wesley here. I don't know if I've ever officially announced him introduced him to you guys, but this is Wes. He's my husband. Today we're going to talk about Whoop, and I've had Whoop for a really long time. We're going to talk about changes with Whoop over the years, what I like about it, what I use it for. Wes just recently got a Whoop, so he has kind of the, the new person input to Whoop because he's pretty new to it, and it's been cool just to see his stats because I'm like always hounding him about sleep and stuff, so it's been fun to actually be like, okay, you slept 7 hours or you slept 8 or whatever. It's helped me a little bit. But backtracking, I got a Whoop in 2018 after the games, and I've always been a very detail oriented person, so I thought it was pretty cool, just like statistics wise, getting to see it. It's crazy to see like the amount of calories you actually burn in a day when you're training a ton. It's really valuable to see the sleep. The recovery score is probably the thing I use the least because I'm going to train no matter what, and I'm not going to base my training off of what the Whoop tells me, but it is very good input. So I like looking at it and being like, holy cow, my HRV dropped a ton, you know, between Monday and Wednesday because I'm super fatigued. So typically what happens is my HRV drops and my resting heart rate goes up as I'm more and more fatigued, or dehydration I've noticed really has an effect on my resting heart rate. So if I'm dehydrated, my resting heart rate goes up. If I'm really tired or stressed out, my resting heart rate goes up. So I use it in that regard to the recovery, but I get a lot of questions from people asking if I change my training based on the recovery score. I do not. So even if I was like 12% recovered and I felt okay and felt like I could get through my training, I absolutely would do it as long as I didn't sleep like 4 hours. Sleep definitely makes me think about my training a little bit just because I know your risk of injury increases a lot when you don't sleep. So if I go into the gym feeling absolutely terrible and I slept 5 hours and I'm super stressed out about something going on in my life, that would be a day that I would probably change my training a little bit. It just depends on the circumstance, but this actually happened a couple weeks ago where I may do half of the programming and then kind of change the workout to where I'm still working on something I need to work on, but I'm not doing any intensity because I just know it will kill me knowing I didn't sleep and knowing I'm already stressed and just adding more stress to my body. And the Whoop holds you accountable for stuff like that because it's like, hey, take it easy today. Like, you are not okay. So my absolute favorite thing about Whoop is the sleep and the sleep tracking and the accountability it holds, because I know that I need at least 8 hours of sleep. So I consider 8 hours a bad night, and anything over 8 is pretty normal and good. It's very common for me to be closer to 9 most nights. It just keeps you accountable from the amount of time you get in bed, the consistency, what you do before bed. So things I've changed since starting Whoop, started taking CBD oil, which has made a drastic change on my sleep and my deep sleep. So when I first got Whoop, I would get honestly 5 minutes of deep sleep a night. And for months, I was like, man, I'm not getting any deep sleep. Like, maybe I just don't get deep sleep. And I just kind of accepted that. And then several months later, I started taking CBD oil, Beam CBD, and I started sleeping like an hour to an hour and a half to 2 hours of deep sleep every night. And I was like, holy cow. So that has been a drastic change. So I take CBD every night. I try to like wind down a little bit, like stretch, read before bed, try to stay off my phone. That doesn't always happen, but I do see a difference when I read, I stretch, and I stay off my phone. Just sleeping better, sleeping longer, not having trouble falling asleep. I don't typically have trouble falling asleep. It happens occasionally. I'm super stressed out about something. I typically have trouble. I wake up a lot to pee, which is related to stress, exercise stress. Your cortisol just kind of like, you're super high all day and then it just relaxes at night and you have to pee a lot. So that's semi-normal for what I do, but if I can decrease stress a little bit, it holds me accountable to trying to do that throughout the day so I know I can sleep a little bit better. And then I wear blue blockers pretty much like after dinner to kind of help with the screens, because I'm obviously going to be on my phone or watch a little bit of TV at night. And then we sleep in a pretty cold room. We actually have a chili pad on our bed, which keeps our bed really cold. The room's dark, it's quiet, with like a little bit of white noise, which I think helps. Some people don't like that, but I think it kind of helps like block out any outside noises or whatever's going on. But definitely keeping the room cool is huge. Yeah, and my sleep average is almost always at 100%. I mean, I'm in bed. The other thing I do is I try to be in bed for 10 hours a night. I don't always sleep, don't hardly ever sleep for 10 hours, but if I know I want to get up at 6, which I'm an early bird, so I'm usually in bed by 8 or 8:30. Usually asleep by 8:30, honestly. So that's the best sleep schedule for me. I have tried to change it. I've tried to go to bed later and sleep in, and I don't sleep in, so then I just get less sleep. I'm pretty much always up by 6 or 6:30, sometimes 5:30, but and that's just the way my body wants to be. So I go to bed early. It works. And thanks to Whoop, it kind of gets to know you, and it will tell you like what your suggested bedtime is and rise time if you want to get up at a certain time. Sleep coach?
Yeah. So it just recognized, like I think I had to have like 14 like sleep before I would give me like recommendations for the strain coach.
Yeah, you have to have the Whoop long enough for it to get to know you before it's gonna make suggestions, which makes sense.
So I'm not great at sleeping. Like for instance, last night I got in bed at like 10:30 and woke up at 4, and was up from 4 till 6, and I just kept laying there until I fell back asleep, and then ended up getting up at like 8 o'clock this morning, something like that. But it's interesting to see like the difference when you see your score versus with those extra 2 hours or without it. So it actually like readjusted when I woke up this morning, and upped my score because my HRV had gone up a little bit. My resting heart rate had dropped back down a little bit. But I enjoy it. That's what I want to use it for, is just track and sleep. I work out Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, take a day off on Thursday. So through the week I see like my strain stays the same, but my recovery gets a little lower. So I'll go from being like green to yellow to red, take the day off, back to green, yellow, red. It's just cycle just kind of repeats.
So if it's red, will you not work out?
No, I still work out.
Oh, you will work out less hard?
Try not to.
You don't use it as an excuse not to work as hard?
It depends on like if I feel bad or not.
Yeah.
So there's a big difference. Like if I wake up and it's a red day and I still feel like I can push, I'll still go for it. So I mean, I base it more off of my feel, but it is good to know like where your body's at.
Have you noticed anything like if you eat late or if you eat certain foods or something that affects your HRV and recovery or whatever?
Not yet. So I think you have to have 30 days on the Whoop before it'll give you those like insights.
So as you guys can see, we love our Whoops in this house. Holds us accountable to sleep, eating well. Wes didn't mention this, but when I eat bad or drink any alcohol or anything, my recovery plummets. It definitely makes you not want to do it because it helps your recovery and your performance the next day. So Whoop holds you accountable to those things. That's why we love it. It's awesome to track your fitness. If you want to join the Whoop team, I have an all heart team so you guys can see my Whoop stats every day. There's a bunch of us in the group. So we'll put the code below if you want to join the Whoop team, and I hope you guys do. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video, something different. Let us know what you liked about it, what you didn't like. We can do more stuff like this, question and answers about random things. Just let us know, put it in the comments. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe, and we'll see you guys next time.